The more you're trying to control, the more you will feel out of control. And this is a funny paradox when it comes to life. And when we're talking about this whole control topic, you always want to ask the question, why? Why do I need to be in control? Why do I need to experience control? And it doesn't matter what example we give, if we start to go deeper and deeper into your answer, you will always come to a place of certainty and safety and protection. Because you don't want to experience uncomfortable feelings. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to experience pain, rejection, judgments from other people. So at the core of control is always safety and protection. Even if we look at the fun, exciting goals that you're trying to achieve, if you're trying to control the process, why? Well, if I make a mistake, I don't achieve this goal. So why do you need to achieve this goal? Well, if I don't have this goal, I won't be good enough. I won't be free. People will laugh at me if I fail. So there is always this layer of protection and safety. So the interesting thing when it comes to this whole topic of control is you're not even trying to achieve control. You're trying to protect yourself. You're trying to keep you safe. And this is where there is also a judgment on reality, as in something is right and something is wrong. Because there is this idea in your mind of, I need to have this outcome, or I need to experience these positive feelings. So this is, let's say, the right decision or the right direction. And the wrong thing is, I don't experience these feelings. I experience uncomfortable feelings, or I don't get the goal that I want. So this is when people start to use language as in, what is the right decision? I want to take the right actions. And this is also where perfection shows up. Because I need to get things right. I need to get things perfect. Why? Because you're trying to protect yourself. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want people to laugh at you. You don't want to be judged. Because you need to go into the right direction, the outcome that you need, and you don't want to go into the wrong direction. So this is what you're constantly trying to control. And of course, if you're trying to control all these things, you will feel out of control because you will see how many things are not in your control. You can't control these things in life. You can influence them. You can be intentional about them, about moving into certain directions. But this is where all the overthinking starts happening and all the overanalyzing. Because you're trying to control things that are uncontrollable. Life at its core is uncertainty. Life is uncertainty. It's so unpredictable. So if we start to play with that perspective of right and wrong, because this is where the control really often shows up, how do you know? How do you know what's right and wrong in life? And you think, so this is the initial answer, like if I feel the positive feelings, if I get the thing that I want, that is right and the other things are wrong. But how do you know that this is right and the other thing is wrong? Because you don't. How do we even answer that question of what is right and wrong? It's simply a creation in our mind that something is right and wrong. Because you've been maybe through some toxic relationships and it was such a wrong decision to go with this partner. Or all of these feelings, I stayed with the partner for way too long, or all the experiences, this is all wrong because it's uncomfortable, the heartbreak, the damage it has done to you, or whatever the case is. So this is wrong. But if we zoom out and look at the big picture of things, all the experiences and lessons that you've learned in that toxic relationship served a purpose. Because now you are more aware of who you want to be in a relationship, of the kind of partner that you want to be in a relationship with. So now you are able to be really present, loving, compassionate with your partner that you want to share your life with. And that was only possible through the wrong decisions. So is it even wrong? So this is how you don't even know if it's right or wrong, because if we look at it from that perspective, it was actually right. Maybe all the business failures taught you the lessons to create a successful business eventually. So we could say, well, all the failures, this was wrong because I didn't get the thing that I want. But it serves a purpose as in you being able to build a business right now. Maybe going into one direction and failing completely, we could say this is wrong. But what if that failure reveals a different mission and purpose for you that is far more in alignment with you, that is far more powerful? Now, the failure is not wrong, it is right. So what if you, and this is a different perspective to take on, what if you can't make a wrong decision? What if you can't make a wrong decision? What if every single action that you take, every single decision that you make is right? What would that feel like? And I'm not saying that this is the universal truth, but what if you would take on that perspective? What would that feel like, that you can't make a wrong decision? And this is where people start to experience freedom in life. When you really feel into the possibility that every single decision is right. Because I believe every single decision is right. And this is where I'm not judging a decision on being right, if I get the thing that I want or experience these feelings, every single decision is guiding me to the place where I'm meant to be. Every single experience, comfortable or uncomfortable, serves a purpose. And sometimes I don't even know, in most cases, I don't even know what the purpose is yet. If I look at my life, I spent half of my 20s ill. I could say this is wrong as it gets. I don't want to experience this. I feel behind in life. Just imagine how far ahead it could be if I didn't spend close to half of my 20s ill. So now I don't feel good enough, and now this and all of the stories. So I could say this is wrong. But what if it serves a bigger purpose that I can see yet? What if that experience in itself makes me able to relate to people that are in a similar position in, let's say, coaching conversations? What if I created insights and experiences through that I can carry into my coaching sessions to serve the client or the individual in front of me in a more powerful way? So now I start to question, like, is this illness even right or wrong? Is this wrong in the sense of I need to get to this place, I need to be here in my mind, the thing that your ego creates, but you don't even know if you need to be there. So in this case, it's wrong. But in the grand scheme of things, you don't know what's right and wrong. You don't know. Maybe you're meant to experience rejections over and over and over again. Maybe this is meant in your journey for a reason that sometimes you don't understand yet. So that's where I always want to come back to a place of trust and faith. That everything is happening for me. Everything is happening for a reason. Everything serves a bigger purpose that I can see yet. Sometimes you only see the purpose years ahead or decades ahead. So if we're talking about letting go of control, or different words is also acceptance or detachment or surrender, people often get this negative response as in, oh, I don't want to surrender because I become passive. I don't want to accept reality because then I don't do anything anymore. That's often what people think. But it's in the detachment. This is where the power is, because you don't become attached anymore to, I need to have this outcome. You become open to possibilities. You don't try to anxiously avoid anything from happening. So this is where you can still be all in, take massive action, but you're not attached to an outcome. You're detached. And this is where the surrender and the detachment, this is where the control shows up. Because if you're trying to control everything that's happening, you will feel out of control because you can't. You can't control all these experiences. That's why trying to be in control will make you feel out of control. And when you don't want to be in control, or you don't try to feel this control, you will experience control. Because you're not trying to control what is happening. You don't try to control the outcome. You're detached from it. You don't care. Yes, some things might be uncomfortable. Yes, some things might be more fun than others. But you are detached from it. You don't need to experience any single thing, because you know that every single thing that you experience serves a purpose. So this is where you can't make a wrong decision. Even though you don't get the outcome that you want in your mind, even this serves a purpose. That's why the detachment will actually put you in a place of control. Because you are only focused on the thing that you can control is, this is who I'm being in this world. This is how I want to respond to life. These are the actions that I want to take. This is in your control. This is the only thing that you really have control over. So you don't need certain people to respond in a certain way to you when you do certain things. So this is why people experience also anxiety in social interactions, because they're trying to control the response of other people or what other people think of them. So good luck trying to, you can influence it to an extent, but this is something that is so far out of your control. So that's why I believe the most powerful place to create from in general in life is detachment, where you don't need anything. And how do you get to a place of detachment is realizing, why are you so desperately attached to something? Why are you so attached to an outcome? This is the answer that you want to get to. Because there is a reason why you're attached. I need this thing, otherwise, whatever the story is. This is the story you need to bring into your awareness. Because this is where you need to see the lie in the story. Because once you see the lie, you come back to a place of detachment. Because this is, I believe, us human beings at a core is detachment. But we, through our mind and through this conditioning and through all the stories, by living life, we create this attachment to things. So that's, I believe, the journey also to create more freedom in life. Is constantly see, where am I attached to things?